What's going on, guys? Coach J back at you. Just wanted to give my reaction to the Shakur Stevenson fight that he just had against Yoshino on ESPN. Let's just go right to it. Shakur Stevenson is probably the best pure boxer in boxing. I think we all probably knew that, but he's getting better at the same time. He fights in the pocket. He's hitting with a certain amount of power now. He's not a power puncher, but hitting with a certain amount of power. And he's really getting the TKOs and everything because he's wearing guys down. He doesn't need to have the biggest power punches because he's literally being able to throw as many punches as he wants and accumulate those punches to get these guys out of here and just pitch a shutout. That's what's happening. So kudos to him. I think that the career that he's going to have is going to be outstanding. At this point, hopefully no trouble comes his way. I'm hoping for that. And we're probably going to see one of the best, he might go down as one of the best boxers of all time because he's got that kind of skill. Now I want to bring up two topics. Comparisons to Floyd Mayweather, right? This is a very early in Shakur's career, but he, to me, he fights different than Floyd. Floyd was, especially latter half of his career, defensive minded, and offense took somewhat of a back seat to that, and he made guys come at him, and he avoided them for the most part, and then countered, so counter punching. Shakur is kind of doing a little bit more of a 50-50, defense offensive strategy, especially now in the last maybe 3 to 4 fights. He's standing there right in front of guys fighting and he's giving them fits right in front of them. And so he's not getting hit. He's avoiding damage, but he's not making them chase him. And he's also standing in the pocket enough that he can just go right after them and not have to go like reset himself, like in versus where Floyd might have to reset himself a little bit because he's using his feet more. Shakur's moving his head movement and his his defense from his shoulders and his gloves more than he's using his feet at this point. And so that gives him an opportunity to counter quicker. And that to me is going to be the difference between how he goes down if he maintains this versus how Floyd has gone down in his career. So we got to watch out for that. So the future for Shakur looks bright. And so what's next? I would hope that we can get Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson after Devin, defeats Loma. And that will be the next fight between those two guys. That will be an excellent fight. Two guys who are very good boxers, approaches it differently, but very, not too far apart. And it would be very interesting. Haney's a good boxer, uses his feet more, has good offense as well, and is a bigger man technically. I think his potential to move to 140 is probably in the near future, although he has said he is not going to do that, at least because he wants to probably defend his undisputed status a couple of times, which is a smart move for his legacy. And then, also T.O.'s up there at 140, so that's an opportunity. And he's also going to unify with Josh Taylor. I'm not unify, fight for undisputed against Josh Taylor coming up. So that, that could be a future opportunity for Devin. But first, maybe he fights Shakur. Let's see what happens. At this point, Shakur versus Devin Haney, I would have to pick Shakur Stevenson. I just think that the way he fights, that defensive strategy with that offensive mindedness really layered on top of it, I think he would give anybody the biggest problem ever. And I think, how do you crack that code? If you're Devin Haney, you're probably using your legs and you're probably going to box. So that's a conundrum for both fighters to deal with that opposing strategy and who's going to win rounds, who's going to win enough rounds to win. I'm still probably going to go with Shakur, but it would be very interesting to see because somebody's going to bring a new wrinkle to their game in that fight. And whoever does is probably going to win the fight. So that's all I got right now. I just wanted to do a real quick one. Let me know your thoughts on Shakur Stevenson's fight tonight. What did you think of it? Where do you see him going in his career and in his next, maybe 2 to 3 fights? And leave them in the comments. Peace.